Recently, we indeed had a client that was pretty special because they were coming here with the intention to set up a company to start a production of antibiotics and enzymes in Paraguay. And they were really surprised about what they seen in the country. So the idea was to avoid the tariffs that they're being imposed in China. I think we went to 5, 6 offices, something like that. Probably more, honestly. So they're actually manufacturing in China now. And they are facing, of course, very high tariffs with the new Trump policies for importing in the US. So the idea is to actually finalize the production here enough that the product can be Paraguayan and export that to the US with the favorable, actually, tariff regime that is imposed on Paraguayan exports. The project that they have proposed, it's a two-stage process. So one would actually be more easy, and it would just be about, simple manufacturing steps that don't require skilled labor and can be done with basic machinery. That is to test out also how they work here, how they find themselves working with the Paraguayan workforce, with the Paraguayan authorities, and all these things. Assuming that goes according to plan, there's going to be a phase 2 that is actually more about relocating the whole production to Paraguay, because what they have seen was actually really interesting for them. And to my surprise, they actually noticed quite a lot of similarities between how you do business in China and how you do it in Paraguay. Okay, now we're doing a meeting with the corporate lawyer to find out which is going to be the best company type for our clients who just arrived to create a production facility in Paraguay of enzymes and antibiotics. The first meeting we had was with Arnaldo, who is our favorite corporate lawyer. He knows very well how the corporate structures operate in Paraguay. He's absolutely an ace at doing these things. He also speaks English, which of course helps. And therefore we had a meeting with him so that we could already nail the corporate structure, making sure that this would go on in parallel as we were applying for a permanent residency. And of course, that ended up being the right choice.
So first meeting done? Yep. How did that go?
They're already late for the second. We have to meet the president of the National Water Company because we have to understand what's going to happen with the water that's used in the production. Let's go.
Do you think that the water here is the best because we're at the water place?
I was just thinking that this is not like official bottled water. It says that it got treated and bottled. They also say that it's forbidden to sell it.
Does it say prohibited to drink it?
That's what I call high quality H2O.
It's purely for aesthetic purposes only.
That's absolutely the bullshit for today. I don't know. For the moment, I'm just gonna keep it here, right?
Seriously.
When we went to the water authority, before you meet the president, you actually speak with some of his team. And it generally is the most useful part of the speech because the team is involved in day-to-day operations. So they know exactly how things work. So the first group of people we met was actually a group of engineers, and they were explaining us exactly how the whole things work and where you have to find the water, how to pull it up. I mean, all the logistics side of things and the implementation and the engineering, which was indeed what we were looking for. And of course, the legislation. While the meeting with the president was more so that you can have a connection, that they know you, they know your face, you can have a direct line in case you need anything, you know that they are kind of marrying your project and they're gonna help you out with the execution. But for the relevant questions, you need to be involved with the guys that are on the ground every day. And the next day we went to SUACE to start the immigration process. The business plan got accepted immediately and everything was super smooth. SUACE is a branch of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce that takes care specifically of residency by investment. This is an important part of the process for all qualified investors like Amanda because it guarantees immediate access to permanent residency and it removes all sorts of barriers to be in charge of certain roles in companies in Paraguay that can only be taken on by permanent residents. When we got there, we got greeted by Ernesto, who's absolutely a great guy, who's the director of SUACE, the one that stays at SUACE. We have a very lovely relationship with him. He's invited to my wedding, and just because, I mean, we have presented a lot of qualified investors for the country, but also because he's a great guy. Like, he was speaking in Chinese to Amanda because he studied in Taiwan, and so that was pretty sick to see.
So where are we now?
At the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, and we're gonna meet the Vice Minister because we want to make sure that their business model qualifies for a specific law called Ley de Maquila which basically would allow them to import everything without any duties nor input tariffs, as long as they export it back within 12 months. This is the key part of the process. So this is actually the meeting of the day, because that's what they came to Paraguay for, actually. So to make sure that their business model passes, but we'll do our best, I think. I think we have all the conditions, so pretty confident.
Yeah, we had to go to the Maquila meeting twice because the first day, the person who organized the meeting fucked up and basically thought it was on, say, a Wednesday, while it was on a Thursday. So we showed up to the secretary of the vice minister, and the secretary goes like, no. What? No, it's not in today's schedule.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And she didn't open the next day's schedule, so she just thought we were crazy, right? I check everything and I'm like, can you check the following day? And she goes like, yeah, it's for tomorrow. But the cool thing is that we said, yeah, since we're here, can we just speak to someone else? And it was actually super valuable, because the first meeting we had by accident, in a certain sense, was with one of the persons that actually works inside the department and sees the project and sees the execution of these projects. So she provided a lot of intel, a lot, that I think is great to have, because with the vice minister, you already want to have a specific set of points you want to discuss as a bullet point, keeping it headlines only. While we're there, we could go much more in depth about technical details and things that can be more like not the overall idea of the thing, but the like plain execution, details, fine tuning. That was actually a great meeting.
The wave, yeah, that's the wave. Love it. Perfect.
After that, the meeting with the vice minister was super smooth sailing, because we already had a lot of intel from the previous day, and we were actually saying things that probably he instructed the previous day girl to actually tell people. So we were just reusing and the same quotes, and that made it super smooth, because we already knew like all the processes operated, and we're like, oh yeah, the online platform and this and that, etc. And we were just talking about the overall project. That morning we were visiting Congress with our clients. So we go around the parliament, we see the Senate, we see the House of Representatives, and so you get to meet with different people and you get to see how the parliament works in action. The problem is that when we went to assist the session of the House of Representatives, they would organize a thing where they would clap the hands and say hello to the delegation of digital nomads and expats that's witnessing today's meeting, and so on and so forth. Every deputy gets 5 minutes to talk before it's the next guy's turn. And the first 5 minutes it didn't happen. Another guy starts talking, another guy starts talking, another guy starts talking, and before you know, we were like 15 minutes late for the meeting with the president of the harbors.
So what's going on now?
We're meeting the president of the harbor with Amanda, and then we come back maybe to the House of Representatives in time for when they want to greet us.
Amazing.
In fact, I also want to let you know that today we are being visited by investors and digital nomads from various countries. And let me tell you, this is the best place, Paraguay, to make your investments. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
We have a bit of a hold up with this car over here. I think there's 75 people trying to get into this van.
I mean, you're allowed to do this in front of Congress, like
Right.
this huge show with 50,000 people getting into the van.
And we're off to the next meeting now.
Yeah, they feeling like a week.
We're only 1 minute late so far. It's not so bad.
It's not bad. The problem is that we just started the trip. If we were a minute late and there, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
and they're calling.
Lucky these two places are close together.
In line of sight, yes.
Yeah.
Road-wise, we'd be better off going to rush hour.
I think the walk was 9 minutes and the drive was 6. I've done enough walking today though.
Yeah, I can't walk another 9 minutes. Sorry. They said that no cameras at all here.
Okay.
She's already asked.
Pero ni sacarlo.
Okay.
Not even taking it out.
I don't know what's going on.
A few moments later.
How was that meeting?
Super productive, I guess. We learned a lot. We learned how to ship things depending on the category of products. Some things can only be shipped to certain ports, some others don't. All the pharmaceutical products, for instance, must go necessarily for the port of Villeta. You want the water, you go to Villeta. You want to find an industrial part, you go to Villeta. You want to import this specific type of product, only the port of Villeta. So life is telling us something, I guess. There's no more doubts about where they should place the company.
Now that our part is done, I'm very eager to know what's gonna be next for Amanda and her company. Because these guys are great, they've been killing it for years in China and in the US. And now that Paraguay is part of the equation, I think there's a lot of value to be added both to their company and to the local job market. I think that if phase 1 goes well, we're in for a very nice phase 2 that may create up to 150 jobs here. So I'm really interested to know what's gonna come next, and we keep absolutely in touch with them to know exactly at which stage of the process they are. So hopefully by the end of the year, we're gonna see the first shipments going out to the US. And now that we've gone through all these good memories, I think that's all from Asuncion for today. So as always, I'll see you in Paraguay.
Nice. Another plan that comes together, right?
Jesus Christ, without a teleprompter, life is so difficult.